It says happy, not appy, and it's not app. Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's Chandel here. Yes, you might realize that in all of my videos, I don't think I've ever actually said my own name and told you who I am. My name is Chandel. There you go. It's not easy to say, even harder to remember. There's no real reason why I never said my name. I just really don't know why I never did, but let's move on, shall we? A couple of years ago, I made some videos about my Disney bucket list with the intention that I would come back and update them, add stuff, tell you what I've done as I did it, but I never did that. So today we're going over my Disney bucket list. I will tell you the things that I have done, the things that I haven't done, and things that I've added to my Disney bucket list. Now don't worry if you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll go ahead and link them in the description below, but there's really no need to watch them if you don't feel like it, because I'm going to go over everything that I talked about in those previous two bucket list videos in this one. That's convenient. Okay, the first thing that was on my Disney bucket list was a fireworks cruise. Still have not done one of those. Fireworks cruise is basically a little cruise on a small boat that you take where you get prime viewing of fireworks. I primarily would like to do one at Epcot. So fireworks cruise still on the list. My number 2 item that was on my Disney bucket list was to participate in a Run Disney event. Check, did that already. Actually, I've done it twice now, working on doing it for the 3rd time in February. Now, if you do go back and see the video where I talk about doing the Run Disney event, I say something about how it's going to have to be a 5K because I'm not a runner. Well, since that time, I became a runner strictly so that I could do Run Disney, and I did a 5K in 2014, the Expedition Everest Challenge, and it was fun and amazing. I was immediately hooked. So then next on my agenda, I signed up for the Princess Half Marathon, which was in February of 2015. Now, if you watch that previous video, again, I say something about how it's going to have to be a 5K because there's no way I'm going to do a half marathon. Well, check, did a half marathon. I'm pretty certain I won't do a full marathon. I'm still struggling with the half marathon at this point. I did sign up, and I'm going to do the Princess Half Marathon in February of 2016. I've got to redeem myself. I've got a goal that I've got set in mind. So that's kind of a sub Disney bucket list under my Run Disney item on that list. I've got a mini goal there to fulfill too. The 3rd item that I had on my Disney bucket list was to stay at a deluxe resort at Disney World. Have not done that yet. Of course, I've stayed at almost all of the values except for Art of Animation. And I did stay at Coronado Springs, so that's a moderate. I stayed there in March and also in February, actually. And so the next climb on that list is going to be to stay at a deluxe, which I should be doing that in November. The next item that's on my bucket list was to try a Dole Whip. I did that. Check, had a Dole Whip. Wasn't that impressed. I really don't think I'll ever have one again. It was okay, but it wasn't like my mouth-quenching, so delicious that I have to have one every trip thing. And I even had the one in Epcot that had rum in it, which was considerably smaller and, of course, considerably more expensive. And, again, I was just mildly impressed. So, it's off my bucket list. Not going to revisit it. Okay, so in my 2nd bucket list video, I talked about taking a park tour. I still haven't done this, and I still want to. There's a lot of cool things you'll discover and learn when you do these park tours. How do I know if I haven't taken one? Duh. I've, seen people talk about them on their videos, in their blogs. I have friends that have done them. I mean, these are just amazing things. I've really got to get one done. Okay, so the number 6 item on my bucket list is to go to Disneyland. Of course, I mean Disneyland in Anaheim, California. I only say that because later we'll talk about Disneyland Paris. More and more, I've been thinking about how different Disneyland is compared to Disney World, and how Disneyland is not a replica of Magic Kingdom at Disney World, and I've just got to get to Disneyland. Hopefully I do that September of 2016 and can check that off my list It may be a new obsession to go to Disneyland once a year. I don't know. We're going to see what happens when I get there. I'm going to need like 2 or 3 jobs to do all of this. Next was kind of a weird one. It's to visit Disney World every month of the calendar year. Wait. So what I mean by that is that I want to be able to have gone to Disney World at every single month, not in the same year, but just every single month. So for instance, I've already gone like in February, March, May, June, July, August, September, October. Now I just need to go November, December, January, and April. That one's getting closer, getting checked off, but not quite. The next one that was on my Disney bucket list was to do characters in flight. This was kind of a slide-in Disney bucket list thing. I spoke about it on a different video other than the bucket list, but it is on my Disney bucket list. I wanted to do characters in flight, which I did do, I think 3 years ago. I forget the exact time that I did it, but it's still on my bucket list because I want to also do characters in flight at night, so it's still on my list. Don't know when I'll get that one done. I've got to work on it. I kind of forgot the last time we were there, or I could have done it in March while I was there with my kids, but I spaced out. So these next 4 items were not on any of my previous bucket list videos, just because I had them planned for upcoming videos, and then I totally didn't even do the video. Number 9 is eat at Be Our Guest restaurant, which I did in May of 2014 with my friend Sherry when I did my first Run Disney event. Expedition Everest weekend. We ate at Be Our Guest that weekend. It was really awesome. I loved it. The atmosphere is beautiful. If you're a fan of that movie or those characters, you'll love Be Our Guest. Number 10 on my Disney bucket list for me is to stay at least one night in every Disney World resort. So I've got a long way to go. So far, the only ones I've actually stayed at are Fort Wilderness Campgrounds. I stayed at the All-Star Movies, All-Star Sports, All-Star Music, Pop Century, Coronado Springs. So I've got a long ways to go in staying at the others. Number 11 is kind of Run Disney related. Actually, it is Run Disney related. Number 11 on my Disney bucket list is to qualify to get my Coast to Coast medal through Run Disney. And all that is basically you have to do a half marathon or higher at Walt Disney World, and in the same calendar year, do one of the half marathons at Disneyland. So the current plan is, of course, I'm going to do the Princess Half Marathon, which I'm already registered for, in February of 2016. And then I'm going to try to do the Disneyland Half Marathon, which I think is in September of 2016. Fingers crossed, as long as I complete both of those races, then I will get my Coast to Coast medal. I'm actually really excited about that, and I think that's the only reason I went back and decided to do a half marathon again, because I'd said I wasn't doing it ever again. But I am, so never say never, especially if it's related to Disney. Number 12 is the last one on my list currently, although I am always adding things to the list. Number 12 is to go to Disneyland Paris. I'm just obsessed with trying to get there. That's some years off, but I want to eventually go to Disneyland Paris. We'll see what happens. If you have a Disney bucket list, tell me about it in the comment section below. As always, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to check out my blog at alldaydisney.com. Okay, that's it for now, guys. See you real soon. Characters in flight at night. Characters in flight at night. Blech. Today's show. And below. What does my hair look like? I can't sing. You know what I'm trying to say.